Grok, can you tell me everything you know about Wild Bill Palahniuk in Dickinson, North Dakota?
But Wild Bill Palahniuk's a real local legend, hosting that cracking show Western Edge Living on telly and radio. Chats with folks about ranch life, heritage, all that northern charm airs on Channel 18 Wednesdays, repeats Thursdays and Sundays, on West Dakota Fox 2. Even got a stroke scare earlier this year, but he's fighting back like a proper tough cookie.
This is Western Edge Living, presented by CHI St. Alexius Health Dickinson. I'm your host, Bill Palahniuk. Welcome to the show. When these first came out, people were extremely skeptical about this becoming a sustainable mode of transportation. They said they're just toys. They're just a passing fancy. When do you think that statement was made? I think you'll be surprised when you find out on today's program as we visit with a local Dickinson resident his whole entire life. His name is Brian Kopp, and this is part of his lifestyle. We're going to explain all the above on today's episode. So call up the neighbors, tell them to turn on the TV, because Western Edge Living, presented by CHI St. Alexius Health Dickinson, starts now. CHI St. Alexius Health Dickinson presents Western Edge Living.
Western Edge Living.
And we are back on Western Edge Living, presented by CHI St. Alexius Health Dickinson. I'm your host, Bill Palahniuk. Thanks so much for joining us today. If you ever want to find out more about our show or to contact us or links to our social media, just go to our website, westernedgelivingtv.com, and all the information is there. There's also links to CHI St. Alexius Health. And our newest partner, too, is coming soon. We'll tell you about that in the very near future. We are very, very excited about that. Today we're visiting with a lifelong Dickinson resident, Brian Kopp. It's good to see you, sir.
You as well.
How you been?
Very good, thank you.
You're looking good. You must be working out and exercising and eating right and all that.
Just enough.
You know, I got to tell the listeners and the viewers that we tried doing this about a year ago or so, and then I went for a ride in your electric car, and I realized, whoa, I'm really missing the boat, and we're going to get to that here in just a little bit. Your third Tesla you're on, huh? Mm-hmm. Wow. We'll talk about that here in just a bit. First of all, you grew up in Dickinson. Where did you go to school?
Yeah, here in Dickinson, so went to St. Wentz and then Trinity and DSU.
Get good grades?
Yes.
In college, too?
Yep. 4.0.
If I call your professor, are they going to say the same thing?
Absolutely.
Oh, talk about going to high school and things. Did you play sports? Did you do any extracurricular things or anything like that?
No, I was pretty much the stereotypical computer guy there. I was one of the first, I was the first computer assistant at Trinity, where I actually had a class where I helped out the tech teacher. Mm-hmm. And then I did do some basketball, the computer stats for tournaments.
Okay, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say you're probably a gamer too, right?
More back then than now, but yes.
Oh man, what drew you to technology? Was it just a calling that you had, or how did technology come into your life?
Early on, it was the computer games. Nobody could help out when something went wrong. Mm-hmm. So then a few years into it, when we got the internet, I was able to look into things and read up on how things worked and make them work. And then suddenly everybody started asking me to make their stuff work. Okay, and what time was, what year would this have been? 2000? Oh, wow. Yeah, right around, a little even before that. Okay. Into the late 90s. And that's the time when there was still dial-up and still Correct. DSL, I think, and cable modems and things like that. Dial-up for years. Dial-up. Oh, yeah. Man, and what ancient technology that is. Now it's so accessible and wireless and everything, and you just kind of fell into that. Now you make a living helping people with their technology issues, correct? Absolutely. For homes and businesses? That's right. Okay, wonderful. And where do you see technology growing? I mean, it is just going rampant. It's just exploding. Where do you see it going in your lifetime, our lifetime, if you will?
Oh, definitely the AI.
Okay.
As we've spoken about before, that's definitely, I mean, it's almost a buzzword at this point, but it's true. It's definitely a huge future thing. I mean, with the vehicles that we'll talk about, the AI in there was a humongous switch over from being programmed data. That is just going to be monumental in almost every industry.
Do you see positive and negative things happening with AI, or AI, I'm sorry?
Oh, absolutely. Positive in being able to manipulate and see large amounts of data for the good, like get through data, not spend so much time on it, but also the bad in mismanipulating the data, using just cherry picking, asking AI for questions that it can use incomplete data sets to fill in gaps that don't exist, and it will make things up. So.
Okay.
There's a lot of dangers that I'm already seeing with it, especially in large amounts of data and with clients who don't understand it.
We had a photographer as a guest on Western Edge Living not too long ago, and he's dead set against the images and the videos that are being produced by AI. Would you have to tend to agree with that?
Oh, absolutely, because it's taking copyrighted data and then using that to make something that technically isn't. So yeah, for artists, it's going to be an even bigger problem than most other areas.
Does AI, is that prevalent in our lives more than we really are aware of?
Absolutely.
I say that because as you know, I had some health issues, and right now, at this very moment, I have a loop recorder, it's called, monitoring my heart at this very moment. It's embedded in my chest, and AI, they set parameters. If my heart does something wonky, it's going to contact my doctor immediately, and they'll wake me up or whatever they need to do. And I find a certain amount of comfort in that, knowing that that's there. So there are good aspects. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Medical especially.
Okay. At what time in your life did you get your first Tesla automobile?
May of 2014.
May of 2014, and now you're on your third one. Talk about the difference from that first Tesla that you purchased to the one that you have now, and how it's advanced and the differences.
Well, the first one in 2014, that was a Model S P85, so that was a rear-wheel drive, full-size sedan sports car. All three of them are. So back then, it was a really big deal to have over 500 horse. That car had 507 horsepower. You know, fuel economy, you were looking at low, mid 100 EMPG equivalency. So I would make trips to Bismarck and back with it. But, you know, there was no infrastructure. If I needed to charge, I was charging at somebody's house.
Oh, wow.
Where then on the second one that I got in 2018, that one was all-wheel drive. Mm-hmm. That had two motors, a front and a back. And now it's up to 720 horsepower and even more efficient and a bigger battery, so more range. Now I can do a trip to Bismarck and back even when it's really cold out. And then during that time frame, the superchargers came in to North Dakota on I-94. So now we can fast charge. I don't have to charge at people's houses anymore. So, you know, and autopilot came in that vehicle as well. My parents' Model 3 already had it. The autopilot features where it would effectively drive itself in most highway instances and a little bit around town in the beta. Where my third one now, this one being a 23 Model S with autopilot, now with the AI autopilot, I could effectively not have to drive anymore.
My wife's Subaru has that technology where it'll drive itself. It'll stay within certain parameters and things. However, the Tesla takes that another step more advanced, I should say, because it'll drive itself. And does it tell you to keep your eyes on the road? Does it do all that? And what are some of the other built-in safety features that it has?
It's watching everything. Imagine having 7 eyes that are watching all around the vehicle. You're never sleeping, you're never blinking. A great example in Fargo, one of the other owners was on a road that has 6 lanes. He was in the middle going south. The light goes green and he's not in autopilot. He's driving himself. He gets a couple feet into the intersection and the car slams on the brakes and stops him basically instantly.
Oh my
and
goodness.
At that moment, he had no idea why. 1 second later, an SUV comes across through the red light, blows through the intersection. He'd have T-boned him.
Wow.
And the car stopped him.
Now, you had mentioned that your first Tesla, I believe, had 500 horse. Is that what you're saying? Now, to put that in perspective, that somebody who's unfamiliar with the electric vehicle, for a gas combustible engine, that'd be a muscle car, would it not?
Absolutely.
Like an old Chevelle with a 396 and kind of hopped up and aftermarket speed parts.
Modern Corvette, modern, Challenger, Charger, Camaro, all of them, and then second one was 720, and this current one is 1,020 horsepower.
1,020 horse. Now, why do we need that much horsepower?
We don't need it. We want it because it's fun.
Okay, that's kind of fun, ain't it? Yeah, we went for the ride, a year ago, and I was just blown away at the G-forces. I mean, you get nauseous from the G-forces that car will produce. It's just flat amazing. And then another thing from back then that we talked about was the semi-trucks, the electric semi-trucks. I said, how could he possibly have so much power? And I looking in retrospect, you all but rolled your eyes at that statement.
Right, yeah, I mean, it's already as much horsepower as a semi would have, or more in most cases.
My goodness.
You gear it down for the torque a semi needs, and piece of cake for electric.
I found a statement online, and we're going to take a break here, but I want the viewers to think about this. When these were introduced, people viewed them with skepticism, considering it a toy rather than a practical mode of transportation, believing such contraptions would never be widely useful and accepted. When do you think that statement was made? I think you're going to be a little bit surprised. We'll tell you when we come back here as we visit with Brian Kopp on Western Edge Living, presented by CHI St. Alexius Health Dickinson. We're back in just a moment. We're back on Western Edge Living, presented by CHI St. Alexius Health Dickinson. I'm Bill Polinick, and along with Leanne Stashowski, we bring you this program every single week. And proud to say that Leanne's going to take the reins here for a couple of episodes, as I have some health issues I got to attend to. So, and she's got some exciting things planned for Western Edge Living in upcoming episodes. Today, we're visiting with Brian Kopp from Dickinson, who is probably the most technologically advanced human being on the planet, and he's right here in Dickinson. Now, before we left on break, the quote was, when these were introduced, people viewed them with skepticism, considering them a toy rather than a practical mode of transportation, believing such contraptions would never be widely useful and accepted. When do you think that was said?
Guess would be 2015.
2015. Try the early 1900s.
Oh.
That's when the gas combustion engine was introduced to the public, and that's the kind of rhetoric that the automobile dealers were dealing with. And you could say the same thing was just said today when people are talking. Why are the electric vehicles taking such a hit on social media, and why are people just so afraid of them?
Because it was political. It had nothing to do with reality. It was all a political game. I was looking at it from what is its function? What can it do? What can it do? What are the limitations? Because back in 2014, there were a lot more limitations than today. Mm-hmm. But there was no practical reason that I shouldn't get it from a knowing how it works standpoint. Mm-hmm. I would need 2 gas vehicles to do what my electric vehicle does for my business and for what I want to do.
Okay. Why did they make the Cybertruck look like it does?
Originally, the shell of it, like the doors and the body, was going to make up the frame. They weren't going to have a full structural frame because of having all the metal doors and panels would be able to be enough structural integrity. That all didn't pan out the way they wanted.
Okay.
But it was also easier for a machine to make. They designed it backward. They designed it, what can a machine make well, cheap and quick, not what do we want it to look like, and then work backwards. So the panels are very quick to stamp out. It's very quick to assemble. No paint, no prep. It's a much quicker to make vehicle than the same size, say, Ford or Chevy pickup.
Is the skin stainless steel?
Correct.
It is. Okay. Now, traditionally, trucks were invented as work vehicles for hauling cargo. Can you haul cargo with the Cybertruck?
Absolutely.
How much cargo compared to a traditional F-250?
All the same. Yep.
Wow.
Towing as well.
That's amazing. And your dad owns the Cybertruck, and the dealers around town are praising him for having that. And just talked to some folks at one of the car dealers in town, and they're saying that yeah, they're an amazing truck. And your dad's first name again?
Arnie.
Arnie, yeah, Arnie, the guy at Sachs Motor Company, was very complimentary about your dad and the Cybertruck and things. And so thanks you for letting us take a ride with you in that. So is the Cybertruck, is that manufactured by the same company that makes the Tesla car?
Yeah, they're from Tesla. All of them are made by Tesla. It's actually made in Texas. And
they're a standalone manufacturer, correct? They don't make any other kind of vehicles.
They make lots of other things, but Tesla is the company.
Okay, and there are more and more standalone companies like that that have stepped into the game. Like, for example, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's the Lucid Air, the Lucid Gravity. They make the Rivian R1T truck. So the landscape's getting a little more activity in it, isn't it?
Absolutely, and then some direct competition with something that was built from the ground up.
Okay. Let's talk about affordability. I know that you can get into a Ford F-150 Lightning, the electric Ford pickup, for about the same cost as a regular traditional pickup, correct? About $50,000, give or take?
I can't really speak to the Lightning details because some of the Lightnings are only available to like a retail purchaser, not like a consumer. They have different models. I can only speak to the Cybertruck on the pricing part personally.
Okay. Now, your third Tesla, did the price range vary from the first one to the one you just bought?
They were actually effectively within $1,000 of each other, so with inflation, each one got actually quite a bit cheaper.
We want to thank Dan Porter Motors and Charbonneau and also Sachs Motor Company in Dickinson for allowing us to photograph the images of their charging stations. Now, those are a little bit different. The one at the mall that we see, that's specifically for Tesla. What is the difference? Is the port that you plug into the...
Right. The Tesla plug, now called the NACS plug, the North American Charging Standard, is what everyone will be using. So that will be the universal plug going forward. A big part of that was Tesla's engineering. Back in 2012, they were already looking to have a car in production, which as they sold their very first Model S's at the end of 2012, they had already certified their standard. The SAE standard for North America wasn't even ready when Tesla put out the plug that we still use today. So their engineers were thinking that far ahead that we're still using a plug, 15, 16 years after it came out, and it's still the same plug.
Do you have a charging facility at your home?
It's really just a plug-in. It's not really a facility.
You don't need anything special?
It's the equivalent of a camper plug in the garage.
Oh, okay.
That's what it is.
How long does it take if you're down to just about out of charge to fully charged, how long does that take at your home?
On my car, that would be about 9 hours. On a Model 3 or a Model Y, you're looking at about 7 hours.
Do you think that the naysayers on electric vehicles find that ammunition for their position on electric vehicles because it takes so long to charge them?
Only if they don't sleep, because even if I'm empty and I get home, I'm probably home for 7 or 8 hours from the time I get home till I leave in the morning again. Okay. And that'd have to be empty.
Wow, and these charging stations, there's getting to be more and more of them around the country. How do you, if you're traveling, say you're in Minneapolis, you're running low on charge, how do you find the charging station? Is there an app or anything like that?
That's why Tesla's great. It's built in. I don't have to know anything. I tell the car where I'm going, and it plots the whole trip, tells me where I'm going to charge for how long, drives right up to it. All I do is back into the charger and plug it in.
Another thing that I was amazed that you pointed out the last time when I was in your car, that when you're parked and you want to play a video game that includes a game with a steering wheel, your monitor, which is, how big is that monitor?
17-inch.
17-inch monitor, you can play video games with the steering wheel on that. I'm sure that Tesla does not allow that while you're in motion, though, right?
No. But the future, with full autopilot, we'll be able to eventually watch movies while the car drives.
Come on, really?
That's the whole goal. I've already paid for that. I have that. As soon as that's available, I get it. So I am waiting.
How far out are we from that?
Probably, well, it's always Elon time, so I want to say months, but probably years.
So we'll be able to sit back and watch How to Train Your Dragon while you're driving to Minneapolis.
Exactly.
No kidding. Unbelievable. What other safety features are there that your traditional vehicles don't have?
Really the wide range of having that camera view where they're watching, it sees deer that you haven't even had a chance to look at yet, because it's watching in all angles. I mean, it's watching vehicles coming from other lanes beside you. It, like I talked about at that intersection, coming across, that guy had no clue that that car was coming, and the car saw it from the camera angles that it has and went, no, we're not going out there.
So in your opinion, Brian Kopp, you would say that an electric vehicle, such as your Tesla, is safer than somebody driving a 76 Ford LTD?
Night and day.
Night and day. So you feel safe in your vehicle.
And then on top of that, their crash tests are the highest rated of any vehicle ever tested. All Teslas are better than every gas car that's been built.
Wow. Yeah, there's so much more that we can talk about today, but as we wrap up on the TV show today, is there anything we haven't covered about electric vehicles or technology that I didn't bring out that you would like to share with our viewer?
I think the big one is the charging at like at the mall, what's on I-94 and all the major areas. In Teslas, it's a 10-minute charge to a half. So if I roll up empty, I can get in 10 minutes a half a charge at those. So when I travel, I typically do an hour to an hour and a half of driving and then do a 10-minute charge and grab a snack or whatever and go.
I'd have to assume that there's people that are working 24/7, 365 in upgrading with the current landscape of electric vehicles, and the future is pretty darn bright. I would have to say that the electric vehicles and also the other electrical items like lawnmowers and things, that's our future. Wouldn't you agree?
100%.
All right. When I asked you to do this, Brian, I could sense excitement. You're eager to share the information that you have obtained over the years with having three Teslas. Now your father has the Cybertruck, and your willingness to come on the show. I appreciate that, and consider you a friend. Thank you so much for your time, sir. I appreciate that.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. Go online and look up some information on electric vehicles. I think you will be pleasantly surprised. It's amazing. Thank you for your time today. We'll be back with another episode real soon of Western Edge Living, presented by CHI St. Alexius Health Dickinson. Thank you for watching.
Western Edge Living.